Yo, it's Mike, and today is going to be a pretty cool video. Today I go through every single NFC team and name their rising star, a young player with talent who's on the verge of breaking out into a star player. If you guys show a ton of support, I'll grind to release the same video, but for the AFC. So make sure you subscribe so you won't miss that. Also, stay tuned till the very end for one of the greatest Photoshops you're ever going to see. You're welcome if you're a Seahawks fan. But without further ado, let's start the video off with the Dallas Cowboys. Now for the Dallas Cowboys, their rising star has to be CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb fell right into Dallas Cowboys' lap during the draft. All Cowboys fans were salivating over the idea of stealing the draft's potentially best wide receiver from right in front of Eagles fans' noses. CeeDee Lamb is the Cowboys' rising star for sure. In his first two NFL games, he already has a 100-yard receiving game and has caught 73% of his targets. As an Eagles fan, I don't look forward to seeing him develop, but as Thanos once said, it's inevitable. New York Giants. The New York Giants rising star, Darius Slayton. This player is developing a nickname known as Big Play Slay, and he lives up to that nickname quite often. It's only his second year in the league, and he's shown some really promising signs, all while dealing with a garbage quarterback in Daniel Jones. But he might not be garbage for long. The more time progresses, their chemistry with each other is only going to get stronger, and it already is pretty strong. He has already 3 games in his career with over 100 yards receiving. Slayton was the number 3 guy behind Golden Tate and Sterling Shepard in many people's eyes. But things are changing as Big Play Slay keeps developing, and so does Daniel Jones. Next up, from Washington, we have Terry McLaurin. All right, calm down. Chase Young is a rising player as well, but Terry McLaurin deserves this spot more at this point in time. McLaurin hasn't even had the best of quarterbacks throwing him the ball, and he still has been able to put up huge numbers, all the while going up against defense's #1 cornerbacks. McLaurin came out of literally nowhere, and him and his former Ohio State buddy are establishing a strong quarterback-wide receiver dynamic. Scary Terry is already the player he needs to be, so as Dwayne Haskins gets better, I expect even bigger things from McLaurin. The Philadelphia Eagles and my team. Dallas Goedert. So Miles Sanders is a great player, but I already expect greatness from him. Dallas Goedert's role is currently a little bit overshadowed by Zach Ertz. The Eagles have big cap space problems lying ahead in 2021. Lots of rumors are going around that Zach Ertz might be out of town. Goedert already has played a huge factor in the Eagles' offense, but if he receives a larger role, I expect a larger workload and expect big results. The Chicago Bears. David Montgomery. David Montgomery joined Tariq Cohen in the Bears running back room. I saw some pretty solid flashes of hope for him in 2019, so he needs to build upon that in 2020 to continue his progression. I want Trubisky to give him some more targets out of the backfield, because if Montgomery can become a dual threat receiving back, he could become a really solid player for that team. Next up, Detroit Lions. I'm going with Jeff Okudah. The Lions need Jeff Okudah to replace the gap they created by trading Darius Slay. Obviously, they traded Darius Slay and they got basically Desmond Trufant and Jeff Okudah. Trufant's not going to be there forever, and they need to make sure they can turn Okudah into a good cornerback or they're going to be in trouble. Is that even possible? I don't know, but Okudah definitely looks solid in college. Let's hope it translates to the NFL for Lions fans' sake. Green Bay Packers. Rising star, Aaron Jones. All right. To be completely honest, Jones was a rising star a year ago, but I think we're only beginning to see glimpses of what he's capable of. He has established himself as the #1 running back for a team, but now it's a matter of how he compares to the league's other top running backs as well. Jones' versatility in the passing game and the Packers' high volume usage of him both help contribute to his success, and he's only just tapping into his potential. The Minnesota Vikings. It was tough to pick right here. I know I just picked Aaron Jones, but I already think Dalvin Cook is basically maxed out in terms of potential. I went with Justin Jefferson. Jefferson needs to fill the void of Stephon Diggs, so they need Justin Jefferson to develop into a good player quickly, and I think there's a high chance he does. The Atlanta Falcons. I easily could have said Calvin Ridley, but I'm going with Russell Gage. I could have said Ridley because I do think he has proven he deserves to be mentioned here, but Russell Gage just intrigues me more, and everyone probably expected to hear Calvin Ridley's name. And you know we shake things up here, especially because some people might not even know who Gage is. Ever since Ridley was injured the back half of last year, Matt Ryan has continued increasing Gage's role in the offense and his amount of targets he receives every game. Gage is one injury away from taking someone's job and becoming a star. The Carolina Panthers. Derrick Brown. All right, the first defensive player so far. Let's go. DJ Moore is an honorable mention here, but I have to show defense some love. And when we're talking about young rising stars, the Panthers have one of the youngest defenses in the league. They selected 8 rounds straight of defense in the 2020 draft because they lost some key players, Luke Kuechly, Gerald McCoy. That defense currently is full of inexperienced players, but also full of raw potential, especially Derrick Brown. The New Orleans Saints, back-to-back defensive players. Gonna have to go with Marshawn Lattimore on this one. I don't know, I honestly just feel like he hasn't gotten the love he deserves. Everyone knows who he is, but he's yet to show if he can be one of the best in the game. We're going to have to wait and see, and maybe fans will put some more respect on Marshawn Lattimore if he upgrades his play. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, Chris Godwin. Now that he has Tom Brady throwing him the ball, expect even greater things from him. Their offense is so stacked, the defenses can't afford double coverages because leaving any one of Tampa Bay's offensive threats open is a costly mistake. Godwin is a downfield threat with room to grow, and he should show that this year and next. Look out for him. The Arizona Cardinals. Jeez. Kenyon Drake was literally held hostage by the Miami Dolphins. I would say Kyler Murray, but if Kenyon Drake, RIP, held hostage by the Dolphins, waste of a couple years of his career. But with the Miami Dolphins, he was completely undervalued, misused, underappreciated, whatever. But then the Cardinals gave him a shot. He made an immediate impact and solidified himself as the starting back ahead of David Johnson. He made the Cardinals so confident that, well, we all know what happened to David Johnson. Tossed away like a bag of trash. Fantasy owners are excited about Drake's future, and I am too. The Los Angeles Rams. Wow, the Rams' offense is super exciting. It took some thinking on who to choose. Ultimately, I went with Tyler Higbee. But I don't know if his success would be possible without the Rams' electric wide receivers drawing away some coverage. However, Higbee came out of nowhere and made a name for himself. He shows up on stat lines. There aren't too many reliable tight ends in the league that display consistency. We got Kittle, we got Kelsey, we got Ertz. Can Higbee develop into one of these top-tier tight ends? Wait and see. The San Francisco 49ers. Nick Bosa. The defensive line is just such an important position. If you can't have defensive pressure, you're not going to win games. The defensive rookie of the year is the Niners' rising star. Unfortunately, 2 days before this video was made, Bosa's season was cut short with a season-ending injury. I fully expect Bosa to come back strong like he was before and to continue his on-field dominance. And the final team, you already know who's coming up next, the Seattle Seahawks. The easiest one here. This one was super easy, and it didn't take any debate for me to choose this player. Who else but DK Metcalf? There it is. We got DK Metcalf. What a beast. Metcalf just overperformed beyond anyone's expectations. As an Eagles fan, we picked J.J. Arcega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf and Terry McLaurin. I don't know how Metcalf fell so far in his draft, but he's such a good player for Seattle. He contributes downfield in the red zone, but he has vertical potential. You'll see him get some big yardage receptions every single game, and he's honestly just a monster in the passing game. And I don't even think he's done progressing. It's only his second year in the league. All right, there it is. Every single NFC team's rising player. Like I said, come on now. If you want to see the AFC, I got some pretty cool ideas, some nice edits up in the head of mine. So make sure you guys show some support, subscribe, and click that bell. There we go. Let's go, baby. Road to 1,000. And 1,000, I mean 10 million.